Thank you very much, my Jegu Vivian. Jegu means teacher, means my teacher, okay? And why are you guys so quiet? And I got a theory, hypothesis, haven't drink enough. And yang berbahagia Datin Donna Duriwi, President of SSPCA, Mr. Dev New, Chairman of the Asia for Animals Coalitions, Madam Glacier Gaikis, Organizing Chairperson of this conference, Board of Directors of the AfA Coalitions, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, a very good evening, and Salam Sarawak Ku Sayang, Salam Sarawak Maju dan Makmur. Just now, I was sitting there and made observation, you know, and I think that you, Datin Donna has trained all of you well about UHA, you know. Most of the time when you're international conference, right, when we welcome the delegates, so many delegates from overseas, when you UHA, right, everybody look at you, they think that you are mad, you know. But basically, UHA means warmest welcome to Sarawak, and in the future, if you heard anyone but nobody ha, no friends of Sarawak or no one from Sarawak, you know. So I want to extend my warmest welcome to all of you to Sarawak again, and especially to the island of Borneo. And the island of Borneo, right? When you talk about animal welfare and all those things, it is truly appropriate location for the island of Borneo to host it, because this was for so many generations, right? And despite so many generations, there are still a lot of the unique mammals and birds and insects that you only found in Borneo that you don't find anywhere else. Of course, the most well-known is orangutan, you know. And in fact, we have 44 mammals, 37 birds, 19 fishes that you found only on the island of Borneo that you don't find anywhere else. We have the longest stick insects, and we had the smallest frogs, in which I was surprised because I can't even see it. They had to use a magnifying glass to show me. At first, I thought my eyesight is poor because of aging, but it is so small. And of course, we had the largest flower as well. And this probably is the last frontier. It's the last frontier of human and the animals living together. And I'm not sure that in the setting of now there's a climate change, right? And the climate change, and we keep on worrying about the planet, right? The climate change is actually not worried about a planet. The climate change is actually worried about human can live in this planet or not. It's not about some of these animals. Because the planet will be here, we or without human, right? And despite the fact that in Sarawak, right, we are almost net zero, because 62% of Sarawak is still forest. 42% of Malaysian forest is in Sarawak, right? And 70% of our electricity is from hydro. And then and also, Malaysia has a population. We are responsible for 38% of Malaysian land mass, but only 8% of population. You know, because if you have a lot of population, you're competing with all the wildlife, with all the animals. And so, despite all this, Sarawak also affected by climate change. You know, and I always tell everyone, the last place to survive the climate change is Sarawak, because it's still got so many forests to hide, you know. And so, welcome to Sarawak. And to many of you who are first time here, and they're always curious about Sarawak. And I told them that 60 years ago, the people of Singapore, the people of Sarawak, the people of Sabah, and the people of Malaysia, they signed a marriage certificate. You know, they invite everybody for dinner, but they signed the certificate. After that, they never registered that marriage. So when next time when you attend wedding and all those things, like, you make sure that the person who signed the marriage certificate actually go and register. So 60 years ago, we formed Malaysia, but the Malaysia agreement was never in the constitution until 2021. And that's why now you come to Sarawak, you need your passport for foreigners. You know, that's why we are one country, two systems for a long time. And why our population is so small? Because of that immigration policy. which is good, because then at least we can have our Sarawak ways of doing things, and the longest lifespan of Malaysians actually in Sarawak at the moment. And so welcome all of you to Sarawak. I just want to say a few words about SSPCA, because I don't want to do too long, because after 3 days, you heard so many speeches, you have enough. So the SSPCA, we are in Sarawak, we are very fortunate because we have SSPCA, who is truly our partners. In terms of the governments, in terms of bringing everybody together, university together, and not only talking about animals' welfare, not only talking about awareness, but actually doing something about the policy and the regulations and so on. And this is how we work. And that's why our Premier has said this morning, if the animal has a right to vote, don't now be a winners. So it shows how it is. And the NGO, non-government organization like SSPCA, they bring another aspect, so together we can provide a holistic approach to regulations, to policies, and also just on that thing talk about the neutering. We are all for it. But then the thing is, we need to go and change some of the regulations, because I only touch human. I am medical doctor. I look after people's heart, right? But I still remember that during COVID, right? I just had animals. I just had the dogs, right? The veterinaries and doctors are protesting. They said, I don't have a license to treat the animals. I said, do you think that as a cardiologist, right, I want to treat the animals? Who pay more money? Who do you think will pay more money? Nobody. I'm yet to find anybody negotiate with me for the medical fees when they're on the table having heart attack. Nobody ever negotiate the fees with me. Even that I was waiting for a chance that they negotiate with me, right? I said, I had discussed with your wife, and your wife said, let you go. And so, but these are some of the things that we need to address. I made sure the last 3 days, right? The last 3 days, you have a very fruitful discussions, because you have excellent faculties and speakers, and also the delegates. And then what you learn, you probably are surprised that there are more similarities than differences. And also, I always teach my trainees. I said, learning what not to do is important also, not just learning what to do. Because people like to share the success. They forgot that sharing the failures is as important as sharing the success. Because the way that I look at things is, if I cut a person this way and that person always die, doesn't mean that I must try to cut that person this way and find that, if I cut this way, he also dies, or she also dies. And that's why it's what I mean by learning the failures is as important. And then from all this, you find that all these are multi-faceted, from capacity buildings, from collaborative efforts, from the science, and that is not only applicable to Sarawak, not only just Malaysia, but you find that the greater world. But recently I found something which I find very interesting, but I'm not sure in the animals and in that ecosystem whether you guys came across or not. This is called artificial intelligence. And the artificial intelligence has come to us so fast that a lot of us didn't realize. It's become part of our daily lives, slowly creeping in. And just to give you an example, I bought a BYD. It's a electric vehicles made from China. And my wife borrowed the car, and she left the phone in the car, and when she wanted to get out, right, the car told her, you forgot your handphone. It starts telling you. And so it means what? It means that our the artificial intelligence, right? Last year, the artificial intelligence, right, cannot speak to you. But this year, the artificial intelligence can speak to you. Not only speak to you, can listen to you, can spy on you. By end of this year, right, the artificial intelligence, right, will have eyes. They can see you. Last year, they cannot speak to you, right? They cannot, means they cannot listen to you. Because in order to speak to you, they must be able to listen to you, right? By end of this year, right, they will have eyes on you. They can spy on you. They can see you. So how are we going to do with all these artificial intelligence? That for years we talk about it, but nothing happened. But in the last few months, it's coming out so fast. And it will continue to accelerate, that it will become days. Things that years to do become weeks, and weeks become days. And in 2 months ago, I was in Singapore. We had Asia Pacific Society of Cardiology, in which the European Society of Cardiology set exams. They set exams. The first year trainee in cardiology failed the exams. The AI ChatGPT passed the exam. The only consolation for me is, yes, you have the knowledge, but you cannot operate yet. They'll tell you that you have a heart attack. They'll tell you all the things, diagnose you and all the knowledge that they know what you need to do if you have a heart attack. But they just stand there, in which I always say, tengok saja, look only, because they cannot touch you yet. Having you on the table, you want someone to touch you, not someone who has the knowledge and say, oh, you are going to have how many percentage you're going to die if you don't do it this way, how many percentage that you must recover if you don't do this. That is theory. We need practical. At the moment, there's a consolation. So I think that for the AfA and all these other things, you must start incorporating all this. Big data, looking at what else, how can we do it. And I was so shocked when someone was telling me this. And said, nowadays, right, the dating, you go to dating apps, right, it's not to meet people. And then go to dating apps, what do? You get your clone AI, right, to go around to date another clone AI first. Let them live together. The clone AI live together first, so that they know that it's truly compatible before you have a chance of face-to-face. In this way, right, you don't have to find that you met your ex-boyfriend or ex-girlfriends and feel a bit embarrassed. It's a clone AI doing all this work for us. So I urge the AfA and all the other alliances to start looking at the AI and also looking at our climate change. Because if we humans cannot survive the climate change, because I was told that in May, the Saudi Arabian national table tennis team, they spent 6 weeks in Kuching, in Sarawak, and for training the table tennis, right? And I asked them, why are you here? They said, our summer is going to be very hot. And true enough, the summer this year is what? In Saudi, 52 degrees Celsius. And if you looking back, you look at the Spain, all the forest fire, you look at near the Christmas time last year in North America, the snowstorm, a snowstorm, how many people die in the car? This is climate change. So I urge you to start looking at the animals, human being. We are also part of the animals, ma. Aren't we part of the animal kingdoms? Yes, we are part of the animal kingdom. So the human beings. So look at us, because if we don't look at all this, the climate change will have effect all of us. As I explained to you, Sarawak, we are almost net zero. We still get affected because, unfortunately, we live in the same planet. We cannot run away, But we just hope that if the climate change make everyone want to start making human not able to live, Sarawak is the last place to survive. you know. And lastly, I want to hope that tonight you guys relax, you know. You have done all your work, and you must time to relax. Otherwise, you're highly strung, right? Then you got mental fatigue. So, and I want to wish all of you a safe journey home. You know, so that safe journey home, a memorable Sarawak, and learn not just the hospitality of Sarawak, but how we live in our ways of life. And we always welcome you back because we have so much to do in terms of our wildlife management, in terms of our rabies. Oh, speaking about wildlife management, I forgot. COVID-19. Do you know what happened to COVID-19 even for us here? We are, of course, we have the lowest mortality in the whole country. The first year in 2020, we only had 17 people die of COVID-19 out of 2.5 million people. But that is besides the point. Human being is besides the point. You guys, just how I mentioned about orang-utan, yeah? Our national park called Semenggok, which is not too far away from here, about 10 miles away from here. Because COVID-19, we had got a movement control order, severe restriction, right? And during this severe restriction, right, you know what happened? Our Sarawak population dropped, you know. We normally have 40,000 children a year. And people always complain that they don't have time. They don't have time. But because of movement control orders, basically it's a curfew or something. And our children born, our number of children coming out during COVID-19, right, dropped half, become 20,000. So the home quarantine, right, become home quarantine. So as a result, our childbirth dropped. But do you know what happened to orangutan? For the first time, we had 3 baby orangutan. You know, we are so happy, you know, for them. Never had a chance to see the baby orangutan born, you know. So it means that, you know, to save them, right, we human better interfere less. You know, and this is something which I thought, wow, because otherwise every day, right, the tourists go and see them, and during COVID-19, 2 years they don't see anybody, and that's why they had 3 babies. We are so proud of it. So lastly, we want to wish all of you very best and good health, and let's together do something for our animals, not only just for Sarawak, but for everywhere else. And together with sharing, together we can make a difference. Thank you very much. And not very convincing. You guys are slow learners. You better drink more.
Thank you very much, Dato Sri.